In this video, we're breaking down some Rinnekangas madness. He's my all-time favorite snowboarder, and the clips will speak for himself. Because he's so sick, let's just watch his full edit, and then we'll go break down these individual tricks. That back 7, beautiful. The way that he goes and stops his rotations and has his upper body positioned afterwards just lets him get such a unique way to come into the landings. Boosting that frontside 360 into a tranny, and I just love how explosive he is, how much he utilizes every part of his snowboard, and behind it are some really fantastic fundamentals. Like, this guy can do the most tech tricks, he can do them stock, but he's just so fun and so electric on his snowboard. It's just, there's so much sick stuff we're going to be covering in this video. I'm so excited. And man, yeah, what more to say except for it's a good day when Rene is out here with clips to play. Ho, ho, ho. Massive. And maybe the sickest rodeos. Like, that's just something you shouldn't be doing on a snowboard. Edge catch depth. And Rene here showing that it is actually okay to hit rails as jumps. You're just not doing it cool enough, so people are complaining. But if you're running Rinnekangas, I think you can hit anything and people are going to clip it. So let's go and break this down, starting with just some really sick wildcat action. This is going to be a bit more challenging than your average wildcat because it's a rail takeoff. What does he do to generate this extra snap? Really hyper exaggerated upper body forward. Look at how crouched down he is, really keeping that weight over those feet. Then as he throws, he's going and elongating and he's letting his chest stay open. This is counterintuitive to like what people normally taught in wildcats where you want to keep 90. And that's because it's easier to be rotating your backflip on this little bit of like a backflip angle instead of straight wildcat. Because if you do straight wildcat, you're going to be risking over rotating the other way. Where this, you can go and spot it and control it a little bit more. And he's getting really 90 out here, really laid out. That's letting him come and catch it in. The reason why this is working so well is because all of his power is being sent upwards. Notice how he's not letting himself lean past his tail and actually sink into that back leg. His chest is still lifting. This is making it so that juice is going up. Then he just needs to stretch it out and control it. Boom, beauty of a backflip. Just textbook in the Rene way. And just this sick, this is filthy butter 720. And what he's doing here is rotating it a lot like you would see off a jump. The biggest difference is look at how much his upper body is set over his front foot. So as he goes and pops up, it's naturally already over there. But what I think is really cool about this is his head positioning. Watch his head positioning through the full duration of this. It's spotting forward, coming in, and continuing forward on that nose, and it's still looking in the same direction. The head hasn't moved at all, and he's just channeling that momentum. And because the head's not moving, because the upper body's maintaining motion, as he snaps off here, the 360 just comes around. He doesn't do anything except for a little bit of counter rotation here to control it. Man, he comes in good. Oh, and look at this landing. Landing back, looking uphill. So where he was spotting the whole way, like if we look here, eye spotting, shoop, back uphill, crouch position, but still a little closed off, right on the toes, absorbing it, power. Oh, beauty of a backside 7, leading with that back arm, lets it come around, and check this out, freaking flying eagle, so sick. Slows down the rotation, then uses counter rotation to finish it off. Just such creative steeziness. Man, and just chowing through the chowder into this ollie, hectic, and boom, boosted. This is really pushing it. I don't think you could land much deeper on this. And we can see that he's having a lot of force and it's really pushing him down. This is because his distance sideways is more significant to his like up and down momentum. Basically, he's drifting super far to the side and that's creating a lot of sideways momentum he needs to kill. So how's he doing this? First, for his in run, check out how over the top the toes are he is. He's so good at this. And then he's really hyper patient with that upper body, making sure that it's closed off all the way into here. Then as he pops, he goes and makes it so his chest is limited, not rotating more than 90. If it snaps more than this, it's going to be turned into a downward rotation and your head's going to connect. You're not going to be able to control it. So making sure that he's extra closed off the lip makes it so his max snap sends him upwards, giving him this air control. And look at that spot. Just forward the whole way as he rotates looking at it. Bam, bam, bam. Then he lands, and I think this probably would have been a little bit smoother for him if he landed like trying to aim towards this pole, but he's trying to set up for this rail, so he needs to go and counter this momentum. So to do this, he's letting his upper body come forward extremely, and this is going to let him go and chowder through and kill that side of his momentum straight into this toe carve. Oh, then into this nose butter, just straight into these motions, and that's what's so sick. Then he follows it up with this really good backside board side. Look at how massive this ollie is. And he just sort of teleports up there. What he's doing here is going to be very similar principles you'll see in every backside board slide, getting that extension, pop off the tail, then counter rotation. But he's adding maximum bend to his body, shifting all the way over to his back leg. And then as he pops, even though he's getting maximum extension, look at how much he's pulling his upper body forward. The more you extend your legs, the more you need to keep your upper body going forward in order to keep that center of balance over the balls of your feet. Because if he bounced up in this angle here, he's going to be sliving out heel heavy. And this makes it so as he brings his legs up, he's able to immediately enter his board side position seamlessly. And then he has enough sideways momentum, so the nose just needs to get over, and then it can rock him, and you can see him go and push that foot down. Boom. And this is something you can do when you have this really good position bend in the legs, is you can actually move your legs independently. And that's exactly what he's doing here to get this little pop out of clean position, landing in basically the same position he took off. Smexy, smexy man. What? Where's he coming from for this? Hand drag, Miller flip. This is a trick I actually got, but I do it with two hands. The one hand is sort of cooler. What's he doing here? Spawning forward, just like you would for a backside 360, then dropping that hand in. And this hand's so important because it's going to help drag the momentum. The really key thing here is, see how his head's looking forward like this? He's not trying to rotate it, snap it. Instead, it's just trying to keep it forward and then let the body rotate around it. Only way that trick works, and it's really crucial. Then, oh, sick, sick crippler. Like this takeoff, so small, not kicky, and he's exploding straight off that tail, upper body bent down, but notice how he's not going and leaning over. He's not pulling into that heel edge. He's still set over the balls of his feet. He's just going and making sure that his momentum's pushing up and over, and then he's kicking up that grab, initiating that rotation. That's what these pros are so ridiculously good at. That is not throwing into their tricks, instead letting the features completely come off and help them get it. So that textbook, if you want to learn how to crippler, study that completely. Then he's coming in, super hinge down position, landing with a good bend of the legs, letting him just go and absorb that little bump straight into his butter. See, this is why Rene is so fun, so explosive, because he rides in this more bent down, crouched position. It makes it so he has incredible range of motion and body separation. So where he's getting bucked here, he has enough motion he can play with that he's able to just butter around and make it work. Even though this would be a pretty compromised place to land with the upper body, because he's so dynamic and he's so comfortable in moving his body in unique ways, he's able to go and pivot from it so fast, letting him get these wicked link turns. And that's really where the creativity and the like freestyle riding comes from. He's not doing anything like ridiculously unheard of, but he's doing it with enough bend and enough responsibility that when he goes and feels the snow try to take him someplace, he's going and falling and linking it. I have no doubt he was still planning to do this line, but the way he gets there, very creative, very cool, and it's all done from keeping this ridiculously exaggerated upper body hinge, and it's just such a powerful position that he uses probably better than anyone. And this turn here is so sick, just coming up, railing it. Notice how that his weight is over his toe edge, and then to get onto the heel edge, all he does is shift his weight more towards that back foot. Super subtle motion, letting him get super low and controlled without relying on leaning, what's really crucial for something that gnarly. And just one of the best peace symbols. This guy is the reason why I gave up the mitts and moved to gloves, just because Rene makes it look so good. Then just perfect hand plant. Not much more to say, just perfect hand plant is a perfect hand plant. Do perfect crippler. I feel like it's, oh my God, this cliff is massive. How big is this? We can Mississippi it. That's the best way to tell the height for something. You count the seconds of airtime. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. So it's around 1.5 Mississippis. So that's the equivalent to like a 40-foot jump. This is all falling. So definitely like 50, 60-foot cliff here. That is pretty money. Someone thinks my calculations log, let me know in the comments below. That's just a very rough guess. What's he doing for this? Keeping a very bent down position, lean towards that back foot, but upper body pulling forward. That's a really important thing here. You really want your hips shifted towards your tail, so that way you can go and maintain contact with your board the whole way off. But you can't have your weight over your tail as you're leaving, so you've got to pull your upper body over to compensate. So he's doing that while holding this bent down position, and you can see he's basically in his grabbing position off the jump. If you're not trying to pop, you're not trying to go and deal with any buck, why not be in a position that lets you grab instantly? Lets you get the sick tweak at the most cool part of the shot. And that's a little pro tip. If you don't need extra movement in your legs, don't take the extra movement in your legs. Now he's just landing in pretty much the same position he took off with and just crunching it. These rodeos, he's just so good at it. We won't talk about this too much because he goes and outshines it with this. I don't know why he's doing this trick. I'll never be doing this trick, but I love it. So this is the nollie, back rodeo 9, I guess you would call it. And the reason why this is so sketchy is the worst possible slam you can really take on jumps is catching your heels at this point. It will make it so you don't get the speed. You land basically flat on your back on the knuckle. Happened to me once as a kid, and it's a big reason why my backside spins have trouble, is because I'm scared of it happening again. So to encourage it and tempt it like this is an absolute mad lad move. What's he doing here? He's going and keeping his weight slightly shifted towards that front foot. So as he pops off, up on that nose, and then see how he's keeping this upper body hinge here? Only thing keeping him alive right here. He needs this upper body hinge. And then as he comes up, he's channeling his body down while keeping that head pretty stationary. This one, we're going to see his head moving a lot more exaggerated than you would for a normal trick. And that's because he needs to change his axis of rotation. Ideally in snowboarding, you're snapping a trick where you don't need to change the axis of rotation, you're setting it off the lip. But for something funky like this, I don't know if it's possible to go and set your axis of rotation. This is basically the same trick we saw at the start, the hand drag front flip. And the really thing that I think is really important for this is just to keep in mind, even though it's coming off sideways, even though it looks more like a front flip, this is just a backside Miller flip. A backside Miller flip where you're not rushing the rotation. And that's what makes it a front roll. All you do is set your hand down and then you try rotate over it, keeping your head there. That doesn't mean it's easy, but the actual principles are really simple, and it's really sick because it lets you finish with a spot, letting you utilize counter rotation to finish. Definitely a trick on my bucket list of things I want to get locked and steezy. And then he just perfect front side 720 melon grab. And that's the cool thing, like he's not doing anything utterly like impossible on here, but Rene just does it so sick, so stylish and so creative. Like even this front 10, doing it off the nose, making it super exaggerated, like off the toes, off the nose. It's sort of like a nollie. If it was anyone but Rene, I'd say this is a brutally bad takeoff coming off a whole board length early, but he makes it work so good, grabbing around that front foot so his front foot's his axis point and just getting a creative way to do it. So it's just a front 10, but he does it in a way that's so unique, so cool. And yeah, Rene, keep being you, keep firing, because I want to see more snowboarding like this. Let me know what rider we should cover next time, and we'll be back at it with another video soon.